Hello, hello, my fellow Vermonters. My name is Cris Ericson, and I would like to talk with you about the homeless crisis in the state of Vermont right now. It's October 2024. It is getting really cold out at night. Very soon, the temperatures will go below freezing. So we need to talk about this. We need to talk about it right now. I'm going to start out with some long-term ideas, long-term solutions, and then I will go to some immediate solutions where I think Governor Phil Scott can pick up the telephone and make a few phone calls and declare an emergency and solve the problem today. Today. That's what I think. So first, I'm going to present some long-term solutions, have patience, and then I'm going to get to the point where I say Governor Phil Scott can pick up the phone. Here are the solutions. Do this today. Okay, now I'm a write-in candidate for United States Senator. My name is not on the ballot. If you want to vote for me, Cris Ericson, you've got to take the initiative to write my name in on the ballot. Now, for the past 20 years, every 2 years, I have been on the ballot. But this year, I fell down when I was mowing the lawn. I didn't get back up fast enough. I wasn't in condition to go out and get the petition signatures. And I went to the doctor. They took x-rays. They said I wasn't broken, but I had arthritis. And this is a progressive problem. And a lot of people have it. And what worries me is people who are homeless who have arthritis, and they're not in a position to get regular medical treatment. So this really emphasizes the problem to me, that if you're homeless and you're having problems, and this type of arthritis, bilateral arthritis of the knees, it's progressive. It needs to be treated, because if it is not treated, the inflammation can go to other parts of your body. So you've got to stop the inflammation from going to other parts of your body. And the problem is, for example, in x-rays, you can see on my right hand, I have a lump in one place. On my left hand, I have a lump in another place. So the knees are different. It's called bilateral arthritis, the knees, but it's different on one side than on the other side. 50% of people with this type of arthritis fall down. So I thought, well, I'll go out on my crutches and I'll take my petition clipboard and my purse and I'll somehow manage on crutches. And it didn't work. I tried it. That was just too difficult. And I talked to someone at Social Security and he said, you'll just have to get a walker. But by the time I talked to him, it was too late to get the petition signatures this year. So 2 years from now, in 2026, if you see me out there on a walker, I'll have the clipboard hanging down one side of the walker and my purse hanging down the other side of the walker, and I'll get it done. I was just a little bit slow to get back up from falling down mowing the lawn. And the point is, 50% of the people that have bilateral arthritis of the knees, your right knee and your left knee are different because the lumps are different. And it comes up on you without warning. All of a sudden, without warning, you've got a lump on one side, one on the other, and they're different lumps. And that's what causes 50% of people to fall down. So once you get the bilateral arthritis, 50% of people are at risk of falling down. Now, when you have homeless people with this condition, this is just a catastrophe, absolute catastrophe. So we've got to get, there's a lot that needs to be done. So have patience with me. And I'm going to go through a whole list. So if you vote for me for United States Senator, I'll get an electric wheelchair to go zooming around the US Congress building, House and Senate, and talk to everybody and get them on board with this. Okay, number one, the veterans. Now, if you elect me, I will create a separate bill as a trust fund for housing for all US military veterans to absolutely guarantee all US military veterans will have housing, and we will have zero US military veterans out on the streets. How will I pay for this? Well, your taxes are taken out of your paycheck, they go to the IRS, and then the US Congress, House, and Senate vote on how to spend your taxpayer dollars. Now, some of the taxpayer dollars by legislation can be put into a trust fund controlled by the United States Treasury. And the Treasury can issue bonds to help with funding. Okay, so there has to be a way to do this, to get the funding. And I have an idea. It's not when your US tax dollars go to the IRS and the US Congress votes to spend them, they send an enormous, unconscionable amount to the Pentagon. The Pentagon hands your tax dollars out for research, design, and development of new weapons, drones and bombs and missiles and jets and things. And so the Pentagon is using your tax dollars for research, design, and development. They allow the lead researcher to get the patent, which is the ownership of the design. And this is wrong because US patent law used to be before 1980 that whoever paid for the research, design, and development owned the United States patent. In 1980, the snakes in the grass down there in the US Congress voted to change that so that the lead researcher now gets the ownership of the patent. So all of these researchers who own the patent make deals with the defense corporations, and the defense corporations produce the new products and sell them worldwide to our allies. And they make billions and billions in profits, and we don't get any share. Before 1980, we would have owned the patent, we would have made big bucks as taxpayers. So we have to repeal the Bayh-Dole Act of 1980, and we have to demand ROI, return on investment of our taxpayer dollars, and put that money that's taken from the defense contractors into a trust fund to guarantee housing for all US military veterans. Now, people living with disabilities. Living with disabilities, they're getting treated wrongfully too. Let me explain that. You pay your taxes, and then the US Congress votes to give some of your tax dollars to the NIH, the National Institute of Health. And they pay for research, design, and development of new prescription drugs and medical devices. They allow the lead researcher, who is usually some professor at a university, to own the patent. Again, this is because of the Bayh-Dole Act of 1980, which must be repealed because it's just absolute theft. It is absolute theft of the American taxpayer. Before the Bayh-Dole Act of 1980, whoever paid for the research, design, and development owned the United States patent. Now the lead researcher owns it. He makes deals with pharmaceutical corporations. They make new medical devices and prescription drugs and sell them worldwide for billions and billions in profits. I will go down to the US Congress if you elect me for United States Senator and demand a share of the profits, return on investment, ROI, return on investment of taxpayer dollars and put that money in a trust fund in the US Treasury for homeless people living with disabilities, any kind of disability, whether they have a mental disability or a physical disability. You need a trust fund run by the US Treasury, but created by legislation in the United States Congress, House, and Senate to create a trust fund to guarantee housing for persons living with disabilities. Next, how about everybody else? How about people who are not, disabled or living with a disability? How about people who are not US military veterans? Well, guess what? Read the United States Constitution. The United States Constitution says quite clearly in two different sections that the purpose of the United States Constitution is to promote the general welfare. Promote the general welfare. Well, you can't have health or welfare. You can't have health comes under welfare. You can't have health or welfare if you're homeless. One of the problems right now, where this is October in Vermont, and we're about to have temperatures below freezing at night, is hypothermia and pneumonia. Hypothermia and pneumonia will end you up in the hospital. If you are a child or a baby sent to some campground to live in a tent in this weather, then your children are going to end up with pneumonia and hypothermia. And if you can get them to the hospital before they're dead, then the hospital costs will be thousands of dollars every night. Thousands of dollars every night to treat pneumonia or hypothermia. These are very expensive diseases to treat. Now, I'm going to take, so again, we need another trust fund, a third trust fund for just regular people and babies and children who are homeless. I have to say this: shame, shame, shame on the state legislature. Shame, shame, shame on Governor Phil Scott for allowing children, babies, to be put out in tents, homeless in October. Oh my, you are the lowest scum of the earth. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break and go over my other notes on how we can solve this immediately. The governor of Vermont, Phil Scott, can declare an emergency and solve the problem immediately. I'm going to make a list for you of ways to do that. I'm going to take a quick break so I can switch computers. Okay, now I'm looking at my notes here on this other computer. Now, what Governor Phil Scott and the state legislature can do immediately is go online on the internet and do a search for unrestricted land in Vermont. Now, the first one I'm looking at here is at landsearch.com, land for sale in Alberg, Vermont, zip code 05440. 150 acres for only $875,000. Now, this is beautiful fields, fields and fields, and hundreds of feet of footage on Lake Champlain. Private beach. So my idea is that you buy camper trailers, trailer campers. Trailer campers are designed to live in. You can get them for $13,000 each. If you get 1,000 of them, some of them are designed on the inside to accommodate 2 people. Some are designed to accommodate 5. They'll have a double bed for the parents and bunk beds for the kids. They have a toilet, a shower, a stove, a sink. They just basically have everything you need to live. Trailer campers are designed to live in. And there's a lot of them by Coleman. that are only $13,000. You get 1,000 of them, that's $13 million. So $13 million for 1,021 foot. Well, they're 21 feet and 5 inches. $13,000 for a 21-foot, 5-inch camper trailer that you can live in. And you get 1,000 of them, that's $13 million. And you buy 150 acres. You put 9 or 10 camper trailers on each acre. That's 1,000 new homes like that, instantly. All right, now let me look over here. Let's see, it says this 150-acre lot with lake frontage on Lake Champlain. This property adjoins the Alberg Golf Course, so you can walk up the street and whatever. Southwest views of Lake Champlain, 700-foot frontage of lakefront. I mean, good grief. 150 acres, it's easy to put 1,000 trailers on 150 acres. So for 13 million for 1,000 trailers, and the cost of the piece of land, again, the piece of land is 150 acres for $875,000. You've got homes for 1,000 Vermonters. Now, you're going to want to also dig a septic system. So because the land is $875,000, I am so certain that for $25,000, you could easily hook up water and hook up a septic system for people to put their portable septic disposal in. Now let's see. Let me see what else I have here. On the computer here. All right, you can get these. It's called Vermont Septic Tank Company. And they have these portable septic things. Vermont septic tanks. Why is this fuzzy? Well, at any rate, for a few $100, you can get a portable septic tank. I don't know why it's come out clear. All right. So you can either add on to the small septic system in the trailer, or you can dig a real septic system and connect the trailers to it. These small ones are like a few $100-gallon, but for some reason this isn't coming up clear. All right, the Coleman camper trailer. Let's see what we've got here. Where did I find this? Having a problem. Everything being fuzzy and this computer is down a bit. Well, at any rate, you can look online for these. It's called Coleman Lantern LT, and I don't know why. The computer's fuzzy. All right, well, forget it. My computer is fuzzy. That's unfortunate. Okay, so these all have, like I said, a camper trailer is a 21, 22-foot beast on wheels. Being on wheels is good because it elevates you up from the snow in the winter. They have a toilet, a shower. They have a little table with benches so 4 people can sit down together. Some have a double bed with bunk beds. Some are designed on the inside to accommodate 2 people. So if you have 2 adults who are homeless but can get along together, you can put 2 in one trailer. You can put a mother with children in the trailer. You can put a father with children in a trailer. The bottom line is that in various places on the internet, it talked about the state spending 44 million on homeless people. This plan, 13 million for 1,000 trailers and less than a million for a piece of land, and also hook up some septic and water lines. You can do the whole thing for 14 million instead of 44 million. And the cost of putting people into hotels and motels at night is far more expensive. Let's see if I can get anything clear on this. We did have some solar flares and other nonsense, a geomagnetic storm. Computer might just be upset. Okay, here's one that's not fuzzy. Landandfarm.com. 124 acres. It looks like a whole lot of fields for only $275 in West Haven, Vermont. Now, West Haven, Vermont is a town with a tiny population. Surely they can use some more people. 124 acres. You can put 9 or 10 trailers on an acre. You can accommodate over 1,000 people. And the piece of land is only $275, which means that if you're spending 13 million for 1,000 trailers at about 13,000 each of the Coleman Lantern trailers that are about 21, 22 feet long and that you can live in them. It plus 275,000 for this piece of land, 124 acres in West Haven, Vermont. This is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's also near Lake Champlain. So it's ideal. Okay, let me see if I got another one here. Look at another one. Heinsberg. Heinsberg. Okay, oh, this is redfin.com. REDFIN, redfin.com. That's a nationwide real estate agency. What you have to do with redfin.com is you put in how much you're willing to pay, how many acres you need, fill out all the criteria and what area, and then you have to draw on internet a loop of where you're looking. Okay, so it says, let's see, what town is this in? Oh, it's on Gilman Road in Heinsberg, Vermont, zip code 05461. It says this 119 acre lot offers a rare opportunity to build. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it also has some forest and it's located off a country road in Heinsberg, known for its rural charm and excellent schools. Blah, blah, blah. And it's close to Burlington and University of Vermont and the airport are less than 30 minutes away. So 119 acre lot, you can accommodate, 1,000 trailer homes easily, and it's near a good school. Put the mothers with kids there. Okay, now let me see if I can get back to these trailer homes and see if it's clear enough to look at. This one thing. Okay, the Coleman Lantern LT. I'm just looking at the floor design of the model. These are attractive, trailer campers. That's what they're called. A trailer camper is designed to live in. And like I said, it's up on wheels, so it gets it up above the snow. It's got a dinette, beds, bathroom, refrigerator, stove, sink. It's got everything going on. All right, so now also we have on the internet here, if I can see it, is S5078. Now, this was a bill introduced into the United States Senate. Okay, but it's called S5078, the Homes Act of 2024. The problem with the Homes Act of 2024 is that it doesn't address everyone. It's limited. It doesn't address all of the homeless people. So it's a nice bill, but it does not address all of the homeless people. It was co-sponsored by Peter Welch, but it just doesn't cover everybody. And I want everybody to be taken care of. Now let's see. All of the news stories, there's Vermont Biz, my Champlain Valley News, WCAX, on and on and on. All of the news sources. This month, October 2024, talking about the crisis. Putting children out and say, here, go sleep in a tent. The temperature's going to be below freezing. That doesn't cut it. They can get pneumonia. They can get hypothermia. And if the parents can even get them to a hospital before they're dead, then the hospital bills are going to be exorbitant. Absolutely exorbitant. Let's see here. Now, here's another story. Vermont's motel voucher program explained by Upper Valley Haven. The number of nights that eligible households can access is now capped at 80 nights annually. That's completely ridiculous. Look at the math. An 80-day limit times $80 a night, which is what they want to pay the hotels now, is $6,400. $6,400 is what they totally want to spend. But studying and researching hospital costs, an average cost of an overnight hospital stay was $2,883 in 2021. I couldn't find a recent cost. Hypothermia, the current costs for hypothermia are up to $12,500 per cold-related stay. Because hypothermia is really hard to save you from. Once you get hypothermia, you're going to get gangrene setting in, and they have to start amputating your limbs. Even if your child lives, there's not going to be much left. This is a crisis, okay? So I'm all annoyed to all heck with the Vermont state legislature. They want a pay raise for themselves, and to afford the pay raise for themselves, they want to put children out in tents. Shame on them. All right, so my name is Cris Ericson. And if you want to, you can give me a write-in vote for United States Senator. Thank you for your time. And I hope that this can be solved very quickly before children start dying in Vermont. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Cris has no H in it. It's C-R-I-S. Ericson has no K in it. It is E-R-I-C-S-O-N. And just because I'm Swedish and I could probably go outside and camp and survive doesn't mean that other people are. If you did ancestry DNA tests on all of the people who are homeless and all of the children and babies who are homeless, you know, only a minority of them are going to have Swedish DNA that can tolerate, or Norwegian DNA that can tolerate the cold. Most people can't. Most people need to live in a heated home. Okay, my name is Cris Ericson. I've lived in Vermont longer than most of you are alive. Give me a write-in vote for United States Senator. I'm going to march on down there and get things done. Thank you. Have a good day.